What's up, YouTube? Really apologize for that long time off there. I've just been super busy with getting into the semester and everything, and just haven't had time to do videos, or haven't made them a priority. But back tonight, got a special review for you guys tonight. I was thinking about it, and this week I got in, a couple movies and saw a couple really great movies, which, by the way, non-horror, but if you haven't seen La La Land and, any kind of, musicals or, it's like a musical romance, kind of movie, very puts you in the mind of, a West Side Story type movie. Just couldn't recommend it anymore, because it's such a phenomenal movie. 10 out of 10. But yeah, so other than that, last night I also watched another great movie, and that is, of course, if you're reading the title, Exorcist 3. Spoiler alert, I haven't actually, showed you guys this, but I actually recently just picked this up. This is the Scream Factory release of Exorcist 3. Just this cover is incredible. Just really cool. But also, the reason why I got this is because it doesn't show it on the front, but maybe I can show it to you on this disc. It comes with two discs, two Blu-ray discs. Now, the first disc is, the regular Blu-ray cut, and this disc is the director's cut. Now, this is a cut that fans have actually been wanting for decades for this movie. Because the studio interfered with William Peter Blatty's original script and told him that he had to add an exorcism scene. They renamed it Exorcist 3 because originally this book was called Legion, and only was barely a sequel to the original. Now, it isn't really truly a sequel. It has the same characters in it, but it's not a sequel in the sense that, it picks up where the original left off or anything. It's just another story that has the same characters in it. And that's why it's originally called Legion. It wasn't supposed to be an Exorcist sequel. So, basically, so that's why, the original movie has this weird exorcism scene at the end of the movie, and honestly, the way it ends and everything, it just doesn't flesh well. It just feels way out of left field. They got this detective story, and then it just way out of left field, just random exorcism scene. There wasn't even a setup of we should do an exorcism to this guy. It just is a random exorcism scene right in the middle of the movie. I was like, oh, okay. It just feels way out of left field, and it just really hurts the movie. But it's a fairly good exorcism scene. It's just for the story itself is just bad. So this one doesn't have the exorcism scene. The thing is that the original copies of them were destroyed, so there's no original camera negatives of them. They only have a working VHS copy that they could work with the footage that was William Peter Blatty's original vision. So basically, you have the same that kind of happens with. There's a couple movies that does this. Silent Night, Deadly Night. If you have this copy of it, where it has My Bloody Valentine also has that, where I was supposed to do a review of that one, didn't get a chance to do that one. Again, apologize. But yeah, so it cuts in footage from a VHS copy, so it kind of you can tell there's a big difference because this one's in 2K restoration HD, full HD. It's really, really nice. And then you have this VHS version of it, so the differences are very extreme. But yeah, so other than that, honestly, the story flows so much better, and honestly, the ending it's a completely different ending, but it's so much better. Everything flows completely well in this movie. It's a all-around much better movie watching the director's cut, as is most of the time, with studio interference, it just ends up better the way the director originally envisioned it, or, in this case, William Peter Blatty wrote the novel, wrote the screenplay, directed the movie. And, as is most of the time with that's the case. Yeah, I highly recommend picking this up. You can find it for about $23 on Amazon. It's pretty pricey just for this, but honestly, I recommend picking it up just because it's his original. It's the best version we're ever gonna get. And I bought this unfortunately because rest in peace, William Peter Blatty unfortunately passed away about 4 weeks ago. Super sad. I was really upset about that because he was such a nice guy and a really great author and everything, a really great writer. And so I actually haven't even gotten into the story about this movie. It's basically it follows Detective Kinderman, and it's basically a detective story because Kinderman's the detective from the original movie, and there's these people who are doing a person or whatever you don't know doing these killings based off of the Gemini killer, the legitimate killings of the Gemini, from 15 years prior. And so it's that whole they're trying to figure out who the killer is. There's all these mysteries, and it's basically a supernatural detective story, and it just follows this story really, really well. And yeah, all in all, I think the less you know about this, the better. If you haven't watched this before, it's a really great movie. I couldn't recommend this anymore for the director's cut. The regular movie of it gets a 7 out of 10 for me. It's got a lot of scenes that just annoy me. But all in all, it's a very scary, very, very serious, very good movie. Well acted. Yeah, and this is, man, rest in peace. This is, George C. Scott, who won an Oscar for Patton. Man, does he shine in this movie. It is, his performance, it's so emotional and just so, it's incredible. I don't know, it's just so good. Oh, it just blows me away. The director's cut, I give it a 9 out of 10. I'm trying to think of some of the negatives, but honestly, any of the negatives would be just I just couldn't see some of the things, so I don't know. But yeah, it's a more complete version, and if you haven't checked it out, I really recommend you checking it out. So yeah. Alright, so I basically got a week. I'll be leaving in 6 days from the time I'm filming this. I'm filming this on Friday. I'll be uploading it just as soon as I get done with it. Basically, I'll be going home from spring break in 6 days, so I'll have a video of all of my updates coming up in a couple days, 2 or 3 days. Probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll have it on Wednesday for you. And then after that, on Friday, I'll be home, so I'll probably have a video for you then. And then I go to a convention, not tomorrow, but the next Saturday. So I'm going to try to do some filming with that. I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to do all of that stuff. So I'm going to try to, in Pittsburgh, there's, I can't even remember the name of it. But it's going to have Reggie Bannister from the Phantasm series, and then it's also going to have Debbie. I think it's Debbie something. I can't remember, but she's from Amityville 2, the sister, the beautiful sister. She's going to be there too, so I'm really excited for that. Yeah, so that's all for right now. Hopefully you enjoyed this review, guys. As always, like, subscribe, comment. See you guys in a couple of days with another review. Have a great week.